Hi, this is Mimi from Mimi's Paper Crafting. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be making these pockets. I had some scrap paper the one day and just folded and glued, and this is what came out. And I actually really like I don't know what the word is. I just really like how it looks. So we're going to make some. Now I have some 12 by 12 patterned paper here. And I'm going to cut this down to 6 inches. And then after I cut it to 6 inches, I believe I cut it to 7. I just grabbed a bunch of different patterns from I store all my 12 by 12. I break down my paper pads when I get them, unless they're collection kits. But when I buy paper pads from like Michael's or Joann, I break them down into categories. And my categories are holiday seasonal, floral, pattern, plain colors, and like ink splotches, that type of thing. And then I have travel and kits. And they all go in 12 by 12 scrapbooking containers. So these I just pulled out of my pattern scrapbooking container, and they're all different paper pads. I know that. And I pulled out ones that I just thought would look good in a lot of different journals. So I cut them down, the 12 by 12 to 6, and then I cut them to 7. And then we will go from there. I made this pocket months ago, so I do have to do some measuring and figuring out where everything goes. I mean, how to score and everything like that. When I originally made the pockets, I just randomly folded. So I know I do the first score at 1.5 inches, and then I go in and I measure it, and it's 3.5 inches. So I turn the paper and I score at 3.5 inches, and it ends up that when I turn it back, the score is at 3.5 inches. So you score at 1.5 and 3.5, and you will see I make a mistake here. And what is my mistake? If you've watched me before, I do not flip and score the other side. And I will show you then when I burnish down my score lines that my paper cracks. That is one thing that I try to reiterate time and time again. Please, if you have thicker paper. Now, if you're using a thinner paper, like a printer paper thinness, you do not have to score on both sides. But if you're using any kind of decorative cardstock or cardstock, please score on both sides. So the first original ones I made were double-sided. These are not double-sided, they're single-sided. So you will see that I do go in my scrap bin and pull out papers to match. That way I can cover up the outside. You see, I'm showing you it did crack because I didn't do what I tell myself to always do, which is score on both sides. I am going to go through and then find papers to go on the outside so it's not plain white. The inside I do not do. My thought on the inside is it would make a cute little tiny journaling spot. That's my thought. If you want to cover it, you go ahead and cover it or use double-sided paper. I am trying to use my stash this year, so anytime I need to do a little project like this, I do just pull out paper from my stash. And if you are like me, you have bought way too many cheap Michael's paper pads. That's what these all are. They're all from Michael's, and they're all the $4.99 paper pads. Yes. And I believe the only one they might still sell is this plaid one. The other ones are older, so you can't get them anymore. But the plaid one was the one that was, I don't remember what it was called, but it was the paper pad that had, it looked like it was, oh my gosh, what am I looking for? It looked like Frat Boy. looked like a school. Like it had leather and plaid and knit. It reminded me so much of school uniform, frat boy, paper pad. That's what it reminded me of. So that's what that one came from. This other one came from one that had strawberries in it, and the rest I don't know. I'm glad I actually can remember what the other ones were from. I don't know about these two. Like I said, I used my thumb notch punch from We Are Makers and cut the thumb notches on the back of it and this little part here, which is a little pocket, and then the big part would be glued down on three sides and make that a pocket. Now that I'm burnishing everything down, that's when I'm going to start going through and looking for paper. I'm not sure if I think I might pause. I might have paused when I did it because who wants to see me digging through paper? Okay, I guess I didn't pause. I just go through and look for some paper that I think might work with all of them and that are the right size, which is also very helpful. Like I said, this is where all my scraps go to dye. I really need to go through them and use them more and not save as many. I save way too many small scraps, and I need to stop doing that. Do you save every little scrap? Let me know down in the comments. I'm horrible at it. I save every single tiny little scrap, and I really have to stop doing that. You end up with so many scraps. Oh, I love this floral paper. That's from a paper pad that I just used, the paper collection that I used on, I made a easy mini album. That was that paper pad. It's simple stories, happy hearts. This leathery one is from the same one as the plaid. And the plant is from Echo Park Plant Lady, I believe. So I am just cutting them down to 1.5 inches, and I'm like really angry at myself that I had to measure that, considering that I had just scored it. Right here, I'm just looking for the spot that's going to be the 6 inches I need because it's a torn piece of paper. I also do that a lot when I have really large scraps. I just tear them in half and throw them in there. And then I'm going to cut it to the 2 inches. I cut it to the 2 inches, and then same with all the rest of them. Like I said, this is from Plant Lady Collection. And this is from the Simple Stories, Happy Hearts, and so is the other one that I cut. The colors just happen to match perfectly with these two papers that I picked out. So here we go. And then I will glue them on. And I believe that's the last thing I do. I think anyway. We'll see. I recorded this video. I'm doing the voiceover the next day, and I recorded a bunch of videos yesterday. So I think I recorded 4 videos yesterday. I don't really remember what I was doing in the videos. So yes, I just glue them down. You could keep this white. You could use double-sided paper. You can draw on it. You can do whatever you want. That's the best part about crafting and doing paper crafts. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. You don't have to punch a thumb hole in the back piece. You could just clip this in. You don't have to glue it in for a pocket like I am planning on doing in my journaling. Don't have to do that. You do what you want to do. I'm using my favorite glue. The Barely Art glue is my favorite glue. I know a lot of people like the art glitter glue. My issue with art glitter glue is if I need glue in winter, I can't get it. The Barely Art, you can. And I've never had a single problem with Barely Art. I absolutely love it. And I will never stop using it, and it does last a very long time. But yes, this is my favorite glue. I started off using Eileen's Tacky Glue. Am I the only one who started off? Raise your hand in the comments if you also started off using that glue and then realized you needed a shit ton of that glue to glue anything down. And then you looked for new glue. I was so happy when Barely Art came out. I'm just going to finish gluing all of these papers on. I don't know if this collection kit is still available to buy, but it was such a pretty collection kit. I'm just going to glue them on, and I think then that's actually all the rest that I do, I believe. Yes, I think that is it. I really like that first one. It's very nice and masculine. So, yes, I did make it bigger than the original so I wouldn't waste a lot of paper. So it is 6 inches. So I would journal here and I would glue the rest down and make that into a pocket. So that is the end of my video. Thank you for joining me here. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day, and I hope you make this project.